Hey, good morning, YouTubers. It's been about 2 weeks. I don't know which end of this to talk into. It's been about 2 weeks since the corn sprouted, and I'm sad to report that the germination wasn't too great, as you can see. But you know, when you look close, you can see a lot of little seedlings that withered. I think we had some triple-digit heat days, and I think they just withered before they got some water. But the rest of the corn, it's going to be nice and compact, and so that's the corn. This is our pumpkin patch. I planted 8 different kinds of pumpkins, but and three plants of each. The gophers got some of the babies, so we'll see if some of our giant pumpkins materialize. There's the fowl. I just pulled some weeds. Now this is where all the weeds go. All the weeds go in with the chickens and get converted into eggs. And you see that goose lays pretty good eggs in the winter and spring, and our little girl turkey, she's never stopped laying eggs. She lays eggs all year round for some reason. Looks better close up. Okay, here's the peppers. Now here's a note on these boxes. I think I screwed up because I used half and half mulch and horse manure, and I put the horse manure down so that the roots could go right down into it, but then all the plants, they all burned, and I got a feeling the fertilizer was a little too rich for them. There's my system for string beans. They're coming along nicely. That was real easy to do as well. You know, I just threw the beans along the bottom of the fence and kept it watered. So tomatoes, probably got the tomatoes a little too close together. So here's our squash bed. I planted 5 different kinds of squash, and they're all looking pretty healthy. We've been eating a lot of squash lately. Zucchini and yellow squash, and so but the same thing happened to the little squash plants. Before they got nice and big, their little leaves got burned. Now here's our melons, cantaloupe and watermelons, and these are cucumbers. And you can kind of probably see in this, the leaves, some of the leaves are white from being burned. I think in the end their roots will go down into the soil underneath and do just fine. Here's some of the tomatoes that I planted from seed, and then I didn't have any room in the garden for them. But I think wine barrels, I think, is probably the greatest for getting fruit. That's our potatoes. They're doing real good, and I know that you're supposed to mound them, which I haven't got around to doing yet, but I will. And here's tiny little jalapeno seedlings. They just didn't they don't ever go very fast, you know. They're like they've been 2 months planted and they're still only an inch high, but I'm sure they'll develop as the summer goes on. Okay, last but not least, here's our little chickies that are now fledglings. They always remind me of little eagles, you know. I don't know if anybody's ever raised chicks, but there's a stage they go through where they look just like baby eagles, and they act like them too. I mean, they are relentlessly pursuing the bugs and the worms and each other and everything else. I think chickens would be cool if they were just always in this stage. Anyway, that's it. That's it for now from the inept gardener of garden farms.